Welcome to the Grand Lux Inn, Tullahoma's finest boutique hotel where history, comfort, and southern hospitality come together. Family owned and operated, we take pride in offering more than just a place to stay. Whether you're planning a weekend escape, a staycation, close to home, or just need a peaceful retreat, the Grand Lux Inn is your perfect getaway. Looking for a space to host your next business meeting? Our elegant and quiet setting provides an ideal atmosphere to connect, collaborate, and get things done, all with the personal touch of a locally owned business. Whether you're here for relaxation, business, or a special event, the Grand Lux Inn is ready to welcome you. Call us today at 931-461-9995 or visit the website to learn more. The Grand Lux, Tullahoma's finest boutique hotel.
All right, welcome to the Mick and Mac Show, brought to you by the Grand Lux Inn. Welcome back, Co-Dog.
Thanks.
Well,
Thanks for having me today.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm glad you could be here today. What did you do on Snowpocalypse?
Nothing. Kept kids fed, watched a little football, and slept. Caught up on some sleep.
Same here. I
Try to
slept late.
stay away from outside.
I did stay away from outside. The first time I stepped outside was lunchtime on Monday afternoon.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and Colin convinced me to go to La Fiesta. Yeah, I think it was the only place open in Tullahoma.
We might have been the only people out.
It might have been. But we went, got lunch, and I came back and I said, it's too dang cold. I'm staying inside.
Yep.
But we did watch, we watched some killer stuff on Netflix.
Yep. We watched some stuff. I'm not gonna plug them here.
Me, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we did. Found out where all the air leaks into the house.
You could feel it.
Yep, feel it. They got towels everywhere. So, but it was a good time. It was a good. I mean, we just came off a break, but it was a good break.
Yeah, it was a good break. If anybody has their own snowpocalypse story, 393-0081, you can call in, or you can call and ask us questions, or our guest here in a little bit. Ask him some questions. But we're available all night until 8:30.
8:30. Break it down.
Break it down. We're going to keep going.
For us educators.
That's right. Got to go back and get to sleep because we got to go back to work.
That's right.
I was shocked that Tullahoma got out 2 days.
Man, cold, man. Like, they making good decisions.
Good decisions.
Keep the kids out of the cold.
Well, a lot of things, one game got rescheduled. There was supposed to be a game
Giles County.
Tuesday night.
Yep.
It got rescheduled. It's moved to next Monday coming up.
Yep.
The Monday coming up. But there was a game last Friday.
No, they're just people showing up.
Showing
up to the gym.
Yeah. So I know the boys completely just destroyed Franklin County, and I'm kind of worried about us calling that game at home.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to come with some preset
We're gonna
notes.
we're gonna need some material. We're gonna need people to send us material to talk about.
Send us material to talk about at the Franklin County game because it's going to be insane. What happened?
I got beat. They got beat, and it was bad. I don't know. I knew that Franklin County wasn't, just talking to Coach Welch, he doesn't talk bad about anyone, but I knew that they were down a little bit, and let's just say everybody got to play, and you match that with what West did to North Franklin County on that Thursday before that game, and 61 points and 90 points.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know if those two schools have scored that many points combined all year.
I don't know.
Being North and Franklin County, because both those teams dropped the hammer, and we're talking about West. They won the district title versus North. That was their fourth game they played them this year, and they played them. I actually played tomorrow night at North
Again?
against Avery Trace.
Oh, okay.
Avery
Upper Cumberland.
Avery Trace coming in, and then the North boys play Prescott.
Wow.
So I was the AD from North said they're coming, so we'll see. I don't know how much practice.
I think they're still out of school. Putnam County's still out of school.
It'll be interesting to see how they look. But we both went to school up there, brief time, and we know that it's a lot like
basketball.
Yeah, White County and that area. They're gonna find a way in the gym, and they're gonna bust them in and get them there. So, but the Franklin County game on the boys' side, they handled business. It was 90 to 30 something.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, 90 points. I thought I read it wrong because I turned it off after halftime because it was over after halftime. But then the girls' game, and we talked about that one.
Yeah, somebody asked me today, it was today because we went back to school today. But they asked me today. They said, "How'd the games go Friday?" And I said, "Well, boys won big, girls lost." And they said, "Well, what happened?" I said, "I didn't watch the game, but they scored 37 points. So I can't believe that they scored. They couldn't. It's one of those, can't hit the bucket nights."
Right. It was what it's been and what we've watched. And then I actually saw Coach Hibden yesterday, and we talked a little bit. These teams are starting to run zones.
Yeah.
And the girls are just having problems with it. And you kind of always get into that flow where you run into some bad couple of weeks. It just depends on when that couple of weeks hits. And it's kind of hitting them right now. They just don't have just the flow back in it, coming off a break, and then you miss these days and all this. That it's just he's like our zone. I actually talked to McLean yesterday, and she was just like, we just struggle finding the open player.
Yeah.
She's like, credit to her. She was like, I'm struggling sometimes to find it, like, because people, and we've seen it last few games, and it started kind of with Lincoln County. They would jump from that man to that weird 3-2.
3-2 zone. I think everybody's watching the tape.
Yeah, and so, but she's like, sometimes I'm having trouble, and sometimes we don't know. People are switching it up so quick, odd fronts, even fronts, and they're young.
Yeah, and it's hard to adjust when you're young. I was going to say that just a second ago when you were bringing that up, that some of those young players don't know, they don't have the instinct to find the open spot where they're supposed to be. But I can guarantee you Coach Hibden is working on that in practice.
Oh, yeah. He said that's what they worked on yesterday. And so I said, you're going to see it all year, the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And he goes, I know. And so but you also have people playing out of position, like Jenna.
Yeah.
Freshman has been a guard her whole life, and now she's essentially running a 5 for them.
Usually having to guard the big.
Right. And just they're also worried about what they're having to do on their defensive side.
Yeah.
And then you throw the scoring in. But we've talked before that if their defense is going to dictate their offense a lot of times. If they can crank up their defense, they're not going to have to worry about seeing a zone. They can get out and run.
Yeah, that's what ends up happening is they don't get a chance to run.
Right.
It slows the game down. They don't want the game slowed down too much. But when it does slow down, if they're not finding the spots and they're not getting the shots, it's just going to stall. And so they definitely have to get that defensive up. So the defensive side up, just get some energy out there. And once that happens, it flips a switch.
The scores, that's what's, 38-37 is a middle school score now, which 10 years ago we'd have been like, man, we're laying it on people, 38 points. You know? But now that's kind of a low-scoring middle school game, and then we're seeing it in high school. It's people are adjusting their game to beat them, which is a compliment to that team. Now they just got to figure out how they can fix it.
Not to sell Franklin County short either, because they're a
pretty
good team.
They're a good team.
They're probably 1-2 in that district, and they're gonna see each other again. I think we said it was the 10th, February 10th. They play Franklin County at home. And that should be a great game. All on the girls' side. I don't know about the boys' side.
I don't know about the boys. I don't know about the boys' side, but that girls' game will be a good game. Outside of that, we had our bowling on last week.
Yep.
They ended up
made to the semis.
Yeah, I know, and they didn't. Those two guys, no one saw it because after we went, cameras quit rolling. Those two guys were like, "Oh no, man, first game it'll be tough." And they rolled over. Hardin County. Yeah. And then they got beat the next day, but Final Four. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive.
Especially kids don't even go to practice.
That's what he said. Yeah, dude.
And then wrestling, laid it on and won. That when they wrestled Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
The duels,
and won again. So they're on. I haven't looked to see when they wrestle again, but I know it seems like it's all coming to a close here at the same time.
Yeah, we were talking about before the camera started rolling about how basically there's 3 home basketball games left.
Yeah.
Not counting tournament time, obviously, but in wrestling follows a similar schedule. So they're at the tail end of that as well.
Right.
So they're pretty close.
I feel like their state meet is around like region basketball time, always somewhere around there. And our basketball, it seems like we haven't called that many games.
Yeah,
and we added the East-West games this year, but it just seems like we haven't called that many. But I think it's because you and I both were worn out last year with the boys. The girls making it to the region, and then the boys going as far as they did. That was a lot of games, but it was just excitement too with it. So hoping that holds true again this year with both of them.
I do too. What about junior NBA? How's that going?
It's going, man. If we get good referees, Hal Shoe
and
Timor
out there.
No, they did a great job, and I think there's 12 or 13 teams just in our division, and that's first and second and third grade. Sorry, and you could split it up. Like there's a fine line between there, and you could almost have 2 divisions there with it. And then I get to hear about on Fridays and Tuesdays, our kids that play in the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade division, they come in and they
get right.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's a lot of teams there, and the only one I don't know or haven't seen is the K and K1. Yeah, but they always seem to have pretty good showings. But I know. We gotta give a shout out to Superfan Sharpton. She's going to be doing some pictures.
Good.
And she's got a background made up for these kids. It's gonna look pretty sweet.
That's gonna be great.
So that actually goes on next week for a lot of teams. So I know our team is, and it's been fun. Jeff's doing a great job. Yeah,
I'm glad that's going on like it is. Here in a little bit, we'll talk a little bit about volleyball. We'll save it for the next segment. We get some volleyball information.
Yep, travel volleyball information. Which is we've had Coach Lynch on and things like that, but now just like basketball in a lot of ways, the travel kind of helps build into that school ball, and volleyball is for here. Seems relatively new in terms of everything, and there's already the middle school and the high school competing at good levels, and then now these travel volleyball teams are showing out a lot of times too. And I get the luxury of seeing them, one, having a kid, but two, either having practiced before or having practiced after. Yeah. And they're in some of these gyms and just seeing, and it's fun to watch because sometimes I don't see a lot of these girls that came through West, but now I'm getting to, you get to see them again. It's fun to see them, and it's a growing sport here. Yeah,
it is. And all you volleyball fans out there, be sure to call in 393-0081. Ask any question you got, any thoughts you have on volleyball, travel volleyball, or any of those sports or anything else going on.
Changes going on.
Oil changes going on. Yeah, whatever's going on. Don't forget to follow us on social media, Facebook and Instagram, Mick and Mac Show. Definitely got some stuff going on there. Remember, you can watch us every Wednesday night, 7:30, live. Call in on channel 623, Light Tube Sports Network on YouTube. And people ask me sometimes, they're like, hey, afterwards, they missed it live. They say, can we watch it? And I'm like, yeah, it's on. You can go to YouTube and watch it anytime. Yep. So you can go back and watch it 10 times if you want to.
I said something to Jay Dameron. He's like, I didn't see the live show, but I went back and watched it on YouTube. I said, man, sometimes people will say like I had trouble finding it. He's like, man, if I can find it on YouTube, anybody can find it on YouTube.
So, it's there. Yeah. You just go Light Tube Sports Network, and you see the Mick and Mac logo, and it's there. Yep. And all of them. Do what? TUA Light Tube. Sorry. TUA Light Tube. And check it out, and you see the Mick and Mac Sports logo, and it's all good. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Grand Lux Inn, Payless Auto, Fuel So Good, K&S Trophies, Hard Rock Tattoos, the Sundrop Shop, Tullahoma Lanes, and Sharon Wagner with Exit Realty. Is she back in Florida
yet? If she's smart, she's not.
That's right. She's probably still there. For what I understand, since we have snow days, we have no Hattie report. But
No
we
Hattie
are
report.
we are getting back to that. We promise. Hattie's coming back.
Yeah,
he hasn't quit on us.
We were talking, and he said, we haven't been in school. I said, you haven't been in school? Where you been? And he's like, I don't have anything to go. So I was like, don't worry about it. We'll get it next week.
We'll get it next week. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're bringing Kevin McMurtry on here, and he's going to talk about travel, volleyball, and oil changes.
Yep.
Is that right?
Tire rotation.
Tire rotations.
Yeah.
Whatever comes up. Anybody wants to call and ask questions about that, it's 393-0081. We'll be back in just a minute.
Payless Auto Service and Repair, located at 2013 North Jackson Street, Tullahoma, specializes in tires, brakes, suspension, oil changes, engines, and transmissions. Offers a 24-month or 24,000-mile warranty and free diagnostics. Payless is a veteran-owned auto shop and is home of the 25-25 oil change all day, every day, and offers Payless Tire Deal. Buy 3, get 1 free all day, every day. Call for an appointment, 931-455-6600. And Payless Auto Sales, located at 607 South Jackson Street in Tullahoma. Let Payless Auto show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car. We believe fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the right car, priced to fit your budget. Shop our virtual showroom of cars, trucks, and SUVs online, then stop by and get a test drive. Payless Auto, located at 607 South Jackson Street, Tullahoma, 931-455-6111.
The Duck River isn't just beautiful. It's America's most biologically diverse river and a drinking water source for over 300,000 Tennesseans. Since 2021, volunteers have removed more than 12 tons of trash and 250 tires from our watershed. Now, we're coming together again for the Duck River Watershed Society's 5th annual spring cleanup, Saturday, March 7th, from noon until 3 at the Fire Lake Boat Launch in Manchester. Free to join. Fun for everyone. Register now and help protect the Duck River.
Welcome to Fuel So Good, located at 1407 North Jackson. Fuel So Good is Coffee County's only organic coffee roaster. All of the coffees are certified fair trade and organic. In addition to the wonderful coffee, Fuel So Good offers a large bakery selection. They provide cakes, pies, bakery items for your special occasion. All bakery items are made fresh, in-house, daily. We also offer light breakfast and lunch items, potato, egg, and cheese wrap, breakfast sandwich with Canadian bacon, egg, and cheese, the best around. Chicken salad wrap for lunch, vegan bean salad. All the salads, even pimento cheese, can be sold by the half pound. They have yogurt, they have parfaits, and they also have fudge. So for a great cup of coffee and something sweet or healthy to eat, go by Fuel So Good at 1407 North Jackson Street.
Step into a world of fun at Tullahoma Lanes. Strike up your excitement with our updated bowling center featuring a wide variety of classic and interactive games. Indulge in your timeless favorites at our new and refreshed snack bar. Check out our upgraded arcade with state-of-the-art games and hard swipe technology. Save up your points for premium prize offerings. Bring the whole family and experience bowling like never before.
Some connections are better than others, like connecting with nature or reconnecting with an old friend, connecting with the ball, and connecting with a cause. At LightTube, our goal is to help you stay connected, not only with lightning-fast internet and local support, but by advocating for those better connections. Stay connected to the people in your life. Sign up for LightTube today.
All right, welcome back to the Mick and Mac Show, brought to you by the Grand Lux Inn. We have none other than Kevin McMurtry hanging out with us. From what I understand, is he like the CEO of the Godfather of the travel volleyball. Adira travel volleyball. Is that true? Is it Godfather the appropriate term?
That's a nice term. I'll take it. When you do something with anybody in the public, if it's somewhat nice, I'll take it.
Well, So and we got a good picture up there of some Adira volleyball members. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and then we'll get into this volleyball conversation.
Well, of course, Kevin McCrary, we started this volleyball program 4 years ago. And quite honestly, it was a selfish type of deal. I was trying to help my daughter's middle school volleyball team. And then it's just exploded. It's just grown into a big deal. Something that everybody associated with. It's very passionate.
How'd you get the Adira? What's and I'm not in the volleyball world, so I don't know what that is. I don't even know what that is. So maybe explain what that means.
That's a good question, Mick. Adira stands for strong, powerful, young female.
Okay.
Oh, female warrior.
Female warrior. So this is something y'all came up with. You came up with.
Yes.
So he is the Godfather.
Yeah.
I thought it was when y'all talked about it, I thought it was like this organization. I didn't know McCreary came up with this.
Yeah.
Notes, man. This is awesome.
I just kind of
makes it even better.
Yeah. You got a call.
Oh, that's right. We do have a call. Let's find out who this is before we get into it. Hey, you're on the Mick and Mac Show.
Yes. Hey, it's Kate and Kinsley.
Oh.
What's going on?
We're the athletes.
What about that 12U Miller volleyball team?
Oh.
What about that 12U Miller volleyball team?
Yeah.
Now, if you want me to brag about anybody in our club, I love them all, but that 12U team is a bunch of beasts. I'm telling you.
Bunch of deers.
They're not afraid of anything. They would take your old team in the state right now, I promise you. But they're actually a veteran 12U volleyball team. We've got 4 girls that are playing their 3rd year of travel volleyball, and you don't have many 12U teams that you can actually use the word veteran with them. But that team,
that's true.
That team brings it.
That's not the word I would come up with.
So I'm assuming that we're talking to some players here.
Yes.
So tell us about your experience. Tell us about your experience with travel volleyball. What do you like about it?
Well, I just like going to the tournament.
Going to the tournaments.
I like hanging out. I like hanging out with my friends and getting kills and serving.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys like eating out.
What's a kill?
Yeah, explain to us what a kill is.
It's when someone hits the ball and you sit down and they don't touch it, or like they didn't want and they shrink it and then like we get the point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it is.
So, what are you looking forward to this travel season?
Getting blocks and kills. Getting ranked top 10 in Southern Tennessee.
They're gangster. I'm telling you, those 12Us they're all
Could
about.
ask them like what they like about Fortnite, and you got the same answer. So
Yeah. Well, listen, we appreciate you calling.
Good luck this weekend.
Good luck.
Yes, will do.
All right.
Thank you. Right back at you.
See ya.
Hey,
That's a wild bunch.
gotta love that 12U team. 2 years ago, Cody and I are up in the upper deck at MTSU watching them play like one of the best 12U teams out of mid-10 in the championship, which they should never have been in the championship as 10-year-olds, but they did. They played awesome. And I remember looking at Cody going, they don't know they shouldn't be here.
I didn't know they shouldn't be there.
The championship game, they lost by like 1 or 2 points, and that's when I knew that group was special, because I got the little DaCosta girl over there crying because we lost, and they're just crying their hearts out because they lost that championship game. But I'm like over the top on how they played, So that's why I knew that group was special.
Cody and I have talked about this before, but a lot of times what you see in a team, a good team, what's missing is that killer instinct. Yeah. Sometimes you get a really good team in a sport and they win games but they get to the end and they can't finish because they don't have that killer instinct. Yep. So I think that, you're maybe projecting the future on them, and when they get to high school, that killer instinct's going to grow and it's going to be unbelievable.
Right. And it's not just them. Each age group in Nashville last week, actually, we started off, we usually start off easy. This year I just threw them right in the frying pan. We played in a tournament with over 300 teams from all over Southeast, the best teams in the Southeast, and every age group actually had some success. And we've got ages all the way up to 18U now. So we've got girls that have signed college scholarships playing in our program, and all the way down to 12U, and they all every team did something good last weekend.
Mm-hmm. They all went up there, and when you're putting it mildly, really, because this tournament he was talking about, they were telling me that, hey, team dropped out. Well, they already had someone to fill them in. Like, there was waiting lists, and there was over 300 teams in that with a waiting list.
Right.
And if I told you the price of stuff, you'd be like, we're hosting one next week.
Yeah. Is it kind of like the Run for the Roses in Louisville?
It's similar, but on steroids.
Really?
Yeah.
On steroids?
It is.
I don't think I can handle that.
Volleyball's unlike any travel I've ever. We've done basketball, travel baseball, softball's kind of a racket there in Chattanooga a lot. But this volleyball is, they've got everything.
Where did they play? Where were they in Chattanooga? I mean, Nashville. Where
it was in Franklin area up there. A bunch of different facilities, wasn't it?
TOA, Alliance, Legacy Courts, and then the National Fairgrounds.
Yeah. They got volleyball courts at the fairgrounds?
I had like 16 of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, we were doing, when you talk about travel basketball, I was like, we were doing it so wrong.
Yeah.
Like, they charging for parking.
Yeah.
They, and giving like a weekend passes. If you ever, this one, I figured out 2 years ago when I first started, go to concessions, frozen grapes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's the way to go.
Hey, like $3 for a bag. I was like, man, I can go to Aldi's to get this, but it's delicious, And you go in there, and this is what I mean by it's part of it being on steroids is as soon as you walk in, it's just people are, it's going.
Yeah. It's hard to walk.
Yeah, hard to find a seat.
I can't imagine. I know that when we went to the Louisville one for basketball a couple years ago when Emily was playing, and I was so overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. Like it was just, you just nothing but shoes squeaking and whistles times 100.
Yep.
And so, I can't imagine what it's like in volleyball. It's probably a lot louder.
Well, they figured it out too, because they'll have these teams, and it's a good learning thing. But they have these teams. I think Kinsley's team has to be there early at 8 because they're reffing. And then, so they only have one ref up, and then they're doing the scorekeeping and stuff like that. So they're learning how to do it, but it's also like, well, we'll get you guys to work too.
That's right. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. What does a deer mean was the biggest. I had girls today that say, ask them what this means, ask them what a deer means. Coaches, everyone. That was the first one when I said, hey, I'm having the Godfather on. What do you want to ask? And they were like, ask him what this, ask him that. And I was like, all right. So that was number one on the list. So with this, we talk about it playing at all these other areas. Has this grown any interest in trying to get it around here, like facilities and all that?
Really can't say any of the plans right now because it's really not my position to say it, but I have been approached. I will say this, Tullahoma is very interested in having a little bit of what Franklin had last weekend. Tullahoma Sports Council, Jeff Dameron, Parks and Rec, and they're all, they want to do tournaments. We just got to figure out how to do it.
I know John Gray's been on here several times, and he's talked about the impact on the community.
Yeah.
And think about that. If you have an event, even it's half the size of the one in Franklin, what that does, we have several new hotels. Mm-hmm. We got tons of restaurants, the mall, places that people can go to. The economic impact on Tullahoma. Right. People will come get their oil changed when they find out that they can go to Payless for $25 and get an oil change. What does that do to the economic impact?
Yeah, exactly. The hotels, the rest, because when these tournaments are usually 2 days, and even this weekend's tournament, we're going to Coleman, Alabama, and Guntersville, Alabama, and most of our parents are staying in a hotel on Friday night, even though it's just a one-day tournament, because we start playing at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It's far enough where you got
right.
That last one was a 3-day tournament.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because it was MLK Day, and I was like, they doing it big too.
So how long does this season last? This travel season, is it like basketball where it starts and it never ends?
Season. Yeah, we start trying out just as soon as school season's over, October, because all of our coaches, first of all, players can't play the postseason, the travel till their school season's over.
Yeah.
So we start probably a week or two after the school season's over. Most of our coaches are middle school and high school coaches in the area, and so we'll start first week of October, second week of October, start tournaments in January. And our last tournament this year is March 28th, 29th. And that's actually finishing early. Usually we finish mid-April, but finishing a little bit early this
Is there
year.
a big tournament that you go? Is it like a culminating tournament that you go to, or is it just?
All of them are big.
Well, we're playing in Franklin that last tournament, but this year the whole club, except for the 12s, 12s are not going. But this year we're going to Gatlinburg, to Rocky Top. They have a nice tournament there that's real. The kids actually enjoy because they have contests and photo booths, kind of like this last week. But we're going to Gatlinburg on Valentine's weekend, and that's a big tournament. But every tournament we're playing in tomorrow, this weekend's probably the smallest tournament we play in Coleman, and it's still got 15 teams an age group. You know?
What is their facilities like in Alabama? Is it?
Well, in the one we're going to this weekend, you've got a couple rec centers, and then you've got a lot of schools.
Okay.
So some of our teams are kind of spread out in the area. But when we go back to Coleman in March, they've got this brand new Omniplex. It's like 16 courts, it looks like a glass palace, beautiful place. And so that's going to be interesting. It'll be the first year we played there.
So what? You started this 4 years ago, and we've all done the basketball thing, and it's what's the like? Where do you cut it off? Like, all right, we're winning and the development. Like, what's the basically like philosophy of the teams, or you kind of just let it go to the coaches, or
kind of let go of the coaches,
right?
Because Coach McMurtry wants to win.
Right? Yeah.
The coaches.
So does Coach Shuran.
Look, I will say this: my coaching staff, when this started 3 or 4 years ago, I didn't know when we went from one team. The first year had one team, that 14U team, which was mainly West Middle, who had one girl from Harris on it. We went to 7 teams the next year, and I was like, "How am I going to find coaches?" Well, you'd be amazed.
Right.
We've got such great coaches. You know, Catherine Miller from the high school stepped up. Courtney Harden from Moore County High School. We've got all these high school coaches stepped up, middle school coaches, and now we've got 10 teams. I've got 10 amazing coaches, and I've got 10 assistant coaches. I've got coaches in the wings, like my stepdaughter, Jamie, just had a baby, so she's not coaching this next year. She can coach next year.
Mick and Cody?
Yeah. I've got a couple of my younger coaches that took a year off.
Right.
And I've got a couple assistant coaches right now are ready to step into a head coaching job next year. So we could definitely, we've got the coaches, and I'm proud of them because I wouldn't trade them for anything.
Yeah, and I asked that question because there's a fine line of the development. Hey, we're developing.
Yes.
And then winning, which Mick and I've talked about numerous times, that teaching how to win is a skill. You know, like you're saying, girls upset and crying and things like that because they want to win. That's a big skill, but there's bigger pictures. We've all said that before, and it's easy, you know, the first 6 weeks of practice when you're doing stuff, and you're like, man, we just develop, and then when that ball gets tossed up,
You're ready to win.
it's like, oh, we're winning.
You know you're doing something right when you go to your daughter's middle school games, and you're sitting in the crowd, and the other team's got 2 players that played in your program.
Right.
They'll come over, and their parents are like, they come over and they're like, we're so glad we played in that program because it's helped our kid. And that's something else too. All these players in the area are making friends with kids from other schools. And it's awesome to see when Tullahoma Middle School plays South, and you've got 2 or 3 kids from South and 5 or 6 kids from Tullahoma. They get pictures together and arms around each other. No, I love that part.
It gets wild at my house because of that.
Yeah.
And it's like, who are you talking to? And it'd be like, Ava from Franklin County. And like, I still don't know who it is, but because there's Ava from Coffee County. Yeah, so you're like, okay, because they got 4 Avas saved in their phones and they're all over. That never happened. We didn't even know East was on the other side of town.
No, we didn't know where it was. But you know, in our day, you see somebody 2 times. Most of the time, unless you played in a tournament, and sometimes people would show up at D.W. Wilson on a Saturday and be like, "Hey, man, you're from Shelbyville."
Yeah, why are you
thinking
here?
that's like an hour away? You know, That's pretty cool. That is a cool aspect about it, where they get a chance to meet new people, and so it is a program that incorporates the surrounding counties.
Yes. I'd say out of the 105 kids we've got, probably 40%, 40 to 50% are Tullahoma.
Okay.
And then I've got kids from Moore County, Franklin County, Shelbyville, Cascade, Grundy. I got one kid from Warren County this year. First time we've got a player from Warren County. Dang. One kid comes in from Murfreesboro. So we're starting to, every year it gets a little bit bigger. But the Grundy County, I'll just tell you something about Grundy County. Two of my 18-year-olds that have signed scholarships are both from Grundy County.
Really?
That's true. And believe it or not, and I'm getting really good players from Grundy County.
You know, it's really becoming a popular sport. They're adding I think it was it University UT, I think, is adding like a beach volleyball. You know, so and I heard a rumor, I don't know if this is true or not. I hadn't talked to Dr. Torrance or anybody else, but I heard Motlow was thinking about adding a volleyball team.
Yeah, Motlow will have volleyball. It's coming, and they, you know, actually when they started soccer, about a decade ago?
Yeah.
When they made the choice between soccer or volleyball.
Really?
They chose soccer then, but volleyball is coming. They're talking about doing it real soon, and that'll just help us too.
That's great.
Well, we talked about how big it's gotten just in the middle school. Like when West just redid their gym this past summer, drilled the holes in the floor and stuff. And I think in 2 years, that middle school program is getting split because there's so many kids, East and West, that there's enough to make.
Oh, it's sad every year because Jamie will have 60 kids show up for tryouts, and she will cut 40, you know, because there's only room for 20. So Tullahoma can definitely support 2 middle school volleyball teams, and that'll just make it even better.
I mean, it hadn't been that long since I was at West Middle School, and there was no volleyball. That didn't exist in a middle school.
Right.
It didn't exist for us.
Right.
There was a high school team, but there was no middle school team at that point. That hadn't been that long ago. So this is a fairly new.
We took the lines off the floor.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something funny is I'll tell on Cody for a second. When they posted the pictures of the new floor at the middle school, I looked at it very intensely because I was looking for the volleyball lines and the anchors, and I messaged him. I said, "That looks like volleyball lines." He said, "No, that's a 3-point line."
Yeah, I didn't know volleyball lines were colored.
That's right. Yes. I talked to when I was coaching over at Westside. I talked to Coach Mathis.
Yeah,
they did. I said, and we were about to redo the principal, and I said, he said, "Yeah, it's coming, middle school volleyball." And I said, "We take them lines off that floor." I was like, "I'm not sharing that gym." And sure enough though, but I'm telling you, like you best at probably one of our best phone calls we got was a volleyball was Ava Hill's mom.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
His heart sank.
Yeah, we were all like, I gotta say something about Cody.
I was like, uh-oh.
Here we go.
I was like,
You're talking about the 8th grade Ava Hill?
Yeah.
Hey,
I know. Baller.
You want to talk about somebody that can get up about 3 foot over the net?
That's wild.
Ava Hill.
And I'm telling you,
she's got some hops.
It's about when it starts, it's going to be the one that's not that way. It's that way straight down because she brings it.
I remember when I went to Tech, I knew some volleyball players there, and they were all like, they look like basketball players. Yeah. They're all from like Pennsylvania and stuff, but they were like 6'3", and I was like, I didn't know this existed. You know, at the time, because we didn't have that here,
right?
And it was man, I was like, wow, this is cool. I wish they do it for guys too, but I understand that there's you got to add sports and do all this other stuff with Title IX and all that good stuff if you do it. But I would love to see guys volleyball too. Yeah. All right, well it's time for us to take a break. Don't forget, we still have a segment left, 393-0081. If you want to ask us any questions, hit up the Godfather of volleyball, and we'll definitely answer those questions for you, but we'll be right back.
Middle Tennessee is one of the fastest growing spots in the country, and I would love to help you make a move here. I work with buyers and sellers all across Middle Tennessee, and what my clients value most is that I dig in, do the work, and give them clear answers to every real estate question. planning on making a move, call or text me anytime.
Are you looking for that special place to eat? A place that makes you feel like home? If so, the Sundrop Shop is the place to go. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 8 to 3, the Sundrop Shop has a menu to satisfy everyone's taste buds. Their soups, sandwiches, salads, and breakfast are made from scratch and served all day long. And don't forget their selection of handmade frozen treats. From milkshakes to sundaes, the Sundrop Shop is a proud sponsor of the Mick and Mac Show and always enjoys celebrating the success of Tullahoma athletes.
K&S Awards has helped Tullahoma adult and youth athletes celebrate sports for 45 years by supplying the area's largest selection of trophies and plaques, plus corporate awards engraved in glass, plastic, and crystal. K&S stocks gift items and figurines for almost every sport. K&S also does jewelry engraving, sandblasting, wood engraving, like Grandma's favorite recipe on a cutting board. They custom make badges, desk and nameplate signs, panel and photo frame tags, rubber signature and self-inking staffs, bronze signs, yard signs, and banners. Now offering custom framing as well. When you take that trophy-winning picture, 30 years of framing experience makes K&S your one-stop celebration shop for all your keepsake needs. Stop by and see Alan and Jeannie Rogers at KS Awards, 510 Country Club Drive in Tullahoma, or call 931-455-7359.
HostMy provides modern phone systems with mobile integration, HIPAA-ready business texting, and digital faxing solutions. More importantly, we offer dedicated U.S.-based support, transparent billing, and unparalleled reliability. Call 931-581-4411 today and partner with the best.
Welcome to the Grand Lux Inn, Tullahoma's finest boutique hotel where history, comfort, and southern hospitality come together. Family owned and operated, we take pride in offering more than just a place to stay. Whether you're planning a weekend escape, a staycation, close to home, or just need a peaceful retreat, the Grand Lux Inn is your perfect getaway. Looking for a space to host your next business meeting? Our elegant and quiet setting provides an ideal atmosphere to connect, collaborate, and get things done, all with the personal touch of a locally owned business. Whether you're here for relaxation, business, or a special event, the Grand Lux Inn is ready to welcome you. Call us today at 931-461-9995 or visit the website to learn more. The Grand Lux, Tullahoma's finest boutique hotel.
Next week we'll do a virtual day here.
Let's do a virtual day. We can do a virtual day. Welcome back to Mick and Mac Show, brought to you by the Grand Lux Inn. We're here with Kevin McMurtry, the godfather of Adira volleyball, and he is filling us in on travel. I mean, I've learned a ton on travel volleyball. I didn't know any of this stuff was going on, and I'm excited because you mentioned 100. How many kids?
105. Right now.
105 kids from surrounding counties. 40% of them from Tullahoma. That's huge. That is a huge program that I think goes unnoticed sometimes, and I think it's good that we're helping people see what's going on, and maybe we can help move that, get that thought process of why we need facilities here so that we can host these things like basketball tournaments and volleyball tournaments and wrestling tournaments.
And that's the thing. Like if you build a facility, it would be volleyball, but you could do the basketball. You could do the wrestling.
Well, you could do pickleball, like Kevin was saying in one of the breaks. You could do pickleball. You could do tennis. You could do all sorts of volleyball. Remember volleyball at Tech? That was fun.
I do. So, what? How many practices per week do most of your teams do, and like for how long? Because a lot of that's we were talking about facility. That's what made me ask that, because it's hard to find facilities.
It is. We're lucky. We're actually blessed because Coach Welch, Coach Hibden, it is their school season right now.
Yep.
And they let us have what they don't use. and of course in November and December it's a little tough because we also get what elementary basketball doesn't use.
Right.
But we're lucky that they let us use the high school lower gym, which I don't know what y'all think about that gym. I've grown to love that gym. I mean,
you didn't have to run 17s in it.
That's right. Slide 17s in
Yeah, slide 17. I was going to say they should turn that into the volleyball gym. Let's make that a volleyball gym.
That's right. And so we use the lower gym at the high school. West, we've got a couple teams practicing there, and East, a couple teams. We actually this year got one practicing at Franklin County High School, one at Harris Middle School, because the Harris Middle School's coach is one of our coaches, so she just uses her gym.
It's always good. They get a winning program in over at Franklin County when they can, you know?
Yeah. I'll say this, though. We're lucky to have what we have, but we do need more because we have to cut players in tryouts, and we hate to, but we probably cut 40 players this year, so we could have 13 or 14 teams. We just don't have the practice.
It'd be hard to have even 40 more kids. Right. Impossible.
If we get our own practice facility, which we would love to do, we're trying to do some fundraising for that. If we could get just a single gym, metal building, we could do more. But the teams usually practice 2 days a week, a couple hours of practice, and we doubled up to the two 12U teams played practice together. The two 13 and one of the 14s practice. Right. One of the 14s, one of the 15s practice together. So you got basically 5 practice slots for 10 teams, 2 days a week.
How many kids? How many girls are on a team?
10.
10. Okay.
I see Amanda over at West.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's not an hour and a half. She's getting after it. It's like 2:15. But I think she's one of the ones that has some Grundy girls on there.
She does.
So it has to make it count, with them.
Traveling.
Yes. And that's something new. We went up to 17U last year, then this year went to 18U. And it's a different dynamic when you start having players that are driving.
That's right.
So like this last weekend, we were trying to decide whether we're going to practice Sunday or not. And I kept saying, well, if y'all practice, I'm okay with it. But these 16 and over teams need to cancel because I don't want them teenagers out driving on these roads. So it adds a new element that you got to think about.
It does. I've been doing a high school travel basketball team last few years in Manchester, Community, Tullahoma. And then we started going to this year to Kinsley's age group, the 6th grade, and I'm sending one of the first times sending out a text to the parents, and it was like, hey, be there, 5:30 practice, 5:10 you be there or whatever. And then I just say 5:30 practice because the parents are driving, it's like you got to switch back into that mode of they're not in charge. These kids aren't in charge. They like to think they are, but they're not in charge. And y'all get there when you can.
What is the role of the godfather of the Deer volleyball look like? What do you're not? I don't think you're coaching the team, are you?
No, it's mainly helping schedule, getting tournaments registered. We talk about travel basketball and things different from that to volleyball. So that first year, I tell Jamie, I got you. I know how to run a travel team. Well, volleyball's a different beast. You've got to charter with either USA Volleyball or JVA, which is Junior Volleyball Association, or AAU. We hooked up with the USA Volleyball. Well, every coach has got to go through a background check. Oh. They got to be trained on the sexual harassment, bullying, hazing, all that. So my coaches have all passed a background check. They've all been trained on the right way and the wrong way to do things. And then after you do all that, you've got to get each player their memberships and get them rostered, every single one of them, before you can enter a tournament. So that first year, we did not get tournaments entered till mid-January. And so we had to drive to Haleyville, Alabama for a tournament. It was just, we went to Anniston. Oh. These parents now just don't know how hard that first year was. We got the scraps of the tournaments there because we registered so late. So it was a lot harder than I thought it would be.
And you're right. It is a lot different. Yeah. I mean, because Mick knows this, but people out there may not, but he was taking care of basketball stuff.
Oh,
and that's just going online and putting
Right.
a couple, putting the name in and the grade, and there's no, who the coach, who's this and that was it. I mean, but he's right, because you got to go on this website. They send you the link, and every year I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Like, but Catherine walks me through it, and I'm like, okay, but there's a lot to it. And they're serious about it, which is good. I mean,
I'm glad that they have some type of structure. I know it's tough for y'all, but I think having that background check is huge, because they're working with kids, getting some type of training. I would need a lot of training if I was coming out there, because I wouldn't know what was going on. So I think that's helpful. And one of my questions that I was thinking about as you were talking about that is got to be costly to do that. I mean, it's got to be. I don't know how y'all do it. I mean,
it's the fees to play are a little bit up there, but it's half what it is to play in Murfreesboro or Franklin. We charge about $750 a player.
Okay,
and that includes that includes the tournaments. We do a team bonding event every year. We do this and that, but it's expensive. But if you go to Murfreesboro and Franklin, you're looking minimum $1,500 just to be on the lower tier teams. We've got a couple of girls from here in Tullahoma that are in the high school level. They're playing in Murfreesboro and paying $3,500, $4,000 a year to play on, and so we're giving everybody great competition at a what we consider a fair price. I don't know any club in America charging $750 or less in volleyball for the season, but I have the world's best treasurer. Laura, I always wanted to call her Laura McCullough because her dad's Jerry McCullough, and we were always friends. But she's Laura Campbell. It's KK's mom.
KK, yep.
And this year we established a board. So we've actually got 6 or 7 board members. Amy Johnson's on it. She is our gym scheduler. You gotta
have that.
Right. That's why you're the godfather.
Take care of the people that take care of you.
But we've got a recruiting coordinator that helps get these girls, especially the 17, 18s, their film, because we send out emails to every college coach in Alabama, Tennessee, everyone. I bet you 40 coaches we've been sending emails about these 17, 18-year-old players that haven't committed yet, and first thing these college coaches ask is, do they have film? So we've got a recruiting coordinator, and that handles that. So every one of those players has their own recruiting page. Mm-hmm. So
that's great. I mean, so y'all actually, when you go to this tournament in Coleman and Steve, what'd you say? Not Stevenson.
Gunnersville.
Y'all go down there this Saturday. If there's 18 or the older high school girls, y'all are videoing those things. Y'all are filming those things.
Yes, filming them. And give an example. Coleman's a great example because Wallace State is just south of Coleman in Hansville, and that's actually where I play baseball. Okay. But love Wallace State. It's a beautiful campus. The facilities, they have a big coliseum, basketball and volleyball, and their volleyball program is one of the best junior college volleyball programs in the whole nation.
Wow.
They lost like their first home game in about 15 years this past year. That's how good they are. But one of our players last year signed with them. It's one of our 18-year-olds this year is playing with them. But they saw her last year when we were playing in Coleman.
Oh, okay. That helps.
And I'd already talked to the coach, and he says, well, introduce her to the so-and-so at the tournament. So I did. And then I sat back and watched, and that lady never watched. His player's name's Scarlett. That lady never watched Scarlett the whole tournament. I'm kind of watching her, and I was a little disappointed. I thought, well, struck out on that one. I get home, and Coach Daniel from Wallace has emailed me and said we'd like to invite Scarlett down to practice with our team and tour the campus. And he tells Scarlett when they're sitting in the office, said, look, I had multiple eyes on you in that gym.
So other people were watching.
Yeah, so he had like 5 people reporting on what they thought about her. So it was really neat,
Well, we got 5 minutes left, so if anybody wants to call in, 393-0081, ask all the questions that are coming to your mind about volleyball or oil changes or whatever else that may need to come up. Cars, whatever needs to happen, we can talk about that.
I just keep thinking like the Mick and Mac Volleyball Center of Excellence.
Oh, yeah.
We could put $20 down on it,
No, we can't.
Well, I can't speak for everyone. But, yeah. So, of course, I'm excited about it. in the biggest reason, and I'm one of the younger age groups, but like my kid just had we heard the phone call. They just have fun. Like I couldn't tell you if they had won or lost any tournament that they ever come home to that I wasn't able to attend.
Yeah.
It was like, how's volleyball? Good. How'd you do? Good. Yeah. Did you have fun? Oh, I had a blast. We did this and this and this,
They do TikToks in the hallway. Oh, that's something I've had a hard time with.
You're not on doing the TikTok?
No.
We can do one right now.
No, we could do one.
No.
Hey, we got a call. We better catch it. Hey, you're on the Mick and Mac Show.
Oh.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I just wanted to know when are the tryouts going to be for the West Middle School swim team? The Sharks, I believe it is.
The Sharks?
The West Middle swim. When are those tryouts, Cody?
Well, we're going to try to get those going in May and then start the season back up in August. They're having Jackie Carver Memorial Meet.
The Memorial Meet, but it might get delayed though because the divers have to paint the lines again.
Yeah, the divers got to paint the lines, and we're kind of cheap, and we're not going to drain the pool. And I'm one of the PE teachers over there. We got to get the sharks out of the water for the sharks and minnows. But outside of that, just be checking your emails.
We'll let you know.
Will you post it on your Facebook page as well?
Yes,
absolutely.
We will.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Now, is that the Mick and Mac Show or the Frick and Frack Show?
Both.
Yeah, both.
Both. It's either one and both. It doesn't matter. We go by all names.
It varies week to week.
There's some other ones, too, that aren't as nice.
Frick and Frack, one of the nicer ones.
So before we leave here, what do you want people to know about Adira volleyball, but also just volleyball in general for this community?
It's a growing sport, and because they're starting so young, 10-year-olds are playing now in this travel ball, and 6th grade plays middle school volleyball now. Start them young.
Yeah.
Start them young. This coming October, we've got a Adira Volleyball Club Facebook page. Like us, join us. We'll take anybody. That's where all the information is.
So follow you guys on Facebook.
Yes.
And everything they need to know is on there.
Yep. And I'll say this, it sounds with the travel stuff expensive. It's really not that expensive of a sport. I mean,
equipment wise.
If you're okay going to Five Below and getting a $5 volleyball for your kid about every 6 weeks because they're gonna wear them out.
Yeah.
It's relatively. I mean, ours are the ones. My kids that don't even play go out there and pepper with Kinsley all the time, and it's just something that every kid does. I know I've told you this, but you're talking about Forrest and Ollie coming through. We never set up the volleyball nets. Very rarely at West, for PE. That's the number one sport that they want set up now is volleyball or 9-square, anything that they can do that. It used to just be basketball or throw the football around. It's volleyball now, and it's the kids that don't even play. They love it.
It's a fun sport. It's definitely a fun sport. One thing that Cody and I talk about is that one of our goals in doing this show is letting people know about things that go on that they may not know about. And I think this is a perfect example that gets you an opportunity for at least 2 or 3 people to see this and join Facebook.
John and Catherine.
Join and see what you guys have got going on, because I think that it's definitely an important organization for this community. Mm-hmm. We appreciate the godfather of Adira volleyball taking care of business. So hey,
it's gonna stick, isn't it?
It's stuck. It's in. But we appreciate you coming.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having us on here. It's the only way it helps us get the name out.
Yeah.
Well, again, we appreciate our sponsors: Grand Lux Inn, Payless Auto, Fuel So Good, K&S Trophies, Hard Rock Tattoos, Sundrop Shop, Tullahoma Lanes, and Sharon Wagner with Exit Realty. All those folks make it happen. And we're proud of them and glad to be a part of it. And we will see them next week.
That's right.
7:30, same time.
Good luck to Adira this weekend.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. See you next time.